Hello all you wonderful, beautiful, and craptastic people. CraptasticJack here. Today we're going to be talking about the Crew 2 once again. Damn it, Jack, you're making another fucking Crew 2 video. What the fuck you doing? Yeah, I haven't made a Crew 2 video in 2 weeks. And there's good reason for that. Mainly because there's nothing to talk about with the Crew 2. I mean, just straight up nothing. Next update's not coming out for till the end of next month. And we don't know what that update is even going to be. Like, however, they did say that they are going to be keeping us in the know and kind of giving us some ideas of what the next update is going to be. They have said the next update is going to be focused around player stuff that the community has been requesting, and they're not going to be adding any new disciplines. That was the last video I actually made talking about that. And I have a feeling that they're going to pretty much give us, I feel like they're going to prepare us. They're going to tell us what the next update is going to feature. I feel like by the end of this month, because every month they've been doing a live stream, so I'm guessing they're going to be doing a live from Ivory Tower live stream later this month, at the end of this month. So that's probably when we'll find out what's going to be in the update. And the timing of this update's kind of pivotal, mainly because we're reaching about the 10-month marking period of the Crew 2 being out. And I just want to kind of compare this to the 10th month time frame of the Crew 1's life cycle when that was out. If you don't remember, about 10 months into the life cycle of the Crew 1, you gotta remember, the Crew 1 was released like December 3rd of 2014, I think. And about 10 months in, it was about October time. So we were gearing up, we were playing the beta around this time for Wild Run. And Wild Run, in my opinion, and the opinions of many others back who were in the Crew community back in the day, it pretty much revitalized the Crew 1. The Crew 1 was very lackluster, although not nearly as lackluster as the Crew 2 is today. Crew 1 was very lackluster, it lacked a lot of things, and it was just dying. And I even made a video. I really jumped the gun on that video a while back, and that's mainly why the reason I haven't made a video like this yet for the Crew 2. I made a video back in the day called Why the Crew Failed. Looking back, I probably shouldn't have made that video because the Crew 1, in my opinion, just it didn't fail. It succeeded. It almost did. I feel like if Wild Run wasn't as good as it was, I feel like the Crew would have failed. But Wild Run came and pretty much saved the game and revitalized the game. Wild Run was a really good update, and that was about 10 months after the game came out. It feels like a much longer time, but it was about 10 months. And here's the thing with that: even though the Crew 1 was not in a very good spot before Wild Run, I don't know, but me and my friends, like, we still played the shit out of the Crew 1. Like, we would still hop on, do PvP, make videos. Like, a lot of us, like me, Richard, like Cam, we all made videos and played the game a lot, the Crew 1. Even before Wild Run, and even during, like, the slow periods of the game where not much content was coming out. So, why isn't the same happening today? And the main topic of the video is pretty much going to be, can the Crew 2 be saved? Will this April update save the Crew 2? And that's really what I mean. I mean, in my opinion, this next April update has to be at the level of Wild Run to pretty much rebound the game. You see the game going on sale. I feel like the game's been on sale constantly since New Year's. Like, the game just never seems to be not on sale. Like, you can get the gold edition easily for like 20 bucks. And like, not many people are really buying it. From what I hear, even on sale, the game's not doing that well. So what do you do to bring your player base back when you've scared away most of your fan base? And that's really what they did with the Crew 2. They added in planes and boats. They prioritized planes and boats, added in some stupid millennial, followers bullshit without a proper story. And what do you expect to happen? And then they wait 6 months to bring out PvP, and PvP is more lackluster than it was in the Crew 1. So after all that, only now, and after you add Demolition Derby and hovercrafts, which are two things that people didn't really want, like, it's not the main things that people have been asking for since day one. Like, how do you rebound from that? And the simple question is, like, you can't. I mean, I get that Ubisoft has pulled magic before with Rainbow Six Siege and other games, but those games had cult followings, even after they didn't do so hot after the game launched. So, you know, like, they still had a pretty strong player base. And then it's still a type of game, because right now shooters are really, they're popular. Not necessarily racing games. Racing games aren't necessarily that popular. So I really can't see the Crew 1 making a rebound, the Crew 2 making a rebound like Rainbow Six did. And at the same time, do they really deserve to rebound? That's the other question. After you fuck over your fan base by adding in planes and boats, prioritizing that, and taking away stuff like cops, faction missions, not putting in PvP for 6 months, and then having it be not nearly as good as the PvP in the first game, you take out a bunch of cars, you make the map shittier, like, you take out all this content from the Crew 1, you remove the story that, like, that Crew 1 story wasn't the best, it was nowhere near the best, but it still was, like, engaging in my opinion. Like, I found it really engaging, this story. And what story do we have in the Crew 2? We really don't. So you take all that shit away, all that content away, and you have planes and boats, which are things that no one really asked for. I don't remember anybody asking for planes or boats in the Crew 1. So you take all that and you try and put in, you force feed shit down our throats that we really don't want, then like, you deserve to fail at that point. And then you scare away half your fan base. Like, that's your fault. You deserve to fail every fucking single way from Sunday. So how do you rebound? Okay, there still is a chance. I know Cam made a video on this because we were talking about it. The Crew going free to play. I don't see it happening, but like, that's really the only way I can see this game really kind of coming back. And if it were to go free to play, it really wouldn't be coming back in the way that it should have been, you know. Because a lot of us spent $60+ on this game. I spent like $150 because I got the fucking license plate that I like to wipe my tears on whenever I get reminded that I bought that shit. But all of this rambling aside, can the game come back? Can the Crew 2 rebound after with this April update? If this April update is garbage, then I don't really see this game coming back. I don't see it being revived, and I see the Crew as a franchise dying, because I honestly doubt they'll put out a Crew 3. Now, when you're in this situation, I can't even tell what Ivory Tower should do, because there are pros and cons to everything. Do you scrap the Crew 2 and make a Crew 3? Because you've already lost a shit ton of goodwill with the community with the Crew 2. You lost like most of your player base, I'd say, with the Crew 2. If they were to make a Crew 3, it'd have to be something similar to the Crew 1 in atmosphere and content, prioritizing cars, street racing, off-roading, as opposed to planes and boats. You'd have to ditch that. And I don't see them doing that. I see them sticking with Crew 2 for the long run, mainly because they have to. I doubt that Ubisoft would even let them make a Crew 3 after how poorly the Crew 2 did. So that's another thing. Really, the Crew 2 itself was a mistake. With the planes and boats, they really should have just added that as the next DLC for the Crew 1. They should have had that as a DLC for the Crew 1. They shouldn't have made a whole new game out of it, because even then, even if we did have planes and boats, we'd still have all the content that we're all missing from the Crew 1 in that game, plus the planes and boats. So even then, it'd be a win-win. But they made the poor mistake of making a game with the Crew 2 when they really shouldn't have. And now they're in this catch-22 situation where they can't really go back, say, okay, we're sorry, we're going to go back to the Crew 1. They can't do that. They can't make a Crew 3, really. So the best possible bet is to just keep updating the game and praying that people come back to it. And they need to start focusing on the atmosphere and the content that brought people to the Crew 1. And they said in this next April update that they are going to be adding a lot of community requested features, but community requested features can mean anything from police pursuits to track editors to race editors to more story missions like a proper story to more street races, all the way to stuff like a nav line. Now, as much as you and I would love a nav line back into Crew 2, it's not that's not going to be the hot feature that is going to bring people back in droves. Neither will cops, neither will more races. They've been adding more races, and it's not bringing people back in droves, you know? Like, I would play the Crew 2 a lot more often if it added cop chases, and I feel like a couple other people would too, but at the end of the day, even then, that's still not going to bring mass amount of people back. Like, what do you do? What do you add to bring people back? And that's the question that I necessarily don't have the answer to. I don't think anyone has the answer to. So I feel like this April update, though, if they don't really nail it on the head and get it properly, then I don't really see this game rebounding. I don't really see this game coming back. And at the end of the day, Ivory Tower is no one really to blame but themselves, because they got themselves into this mess by taking out half the shit that made the Crew 1 fun and putting in planes and boats in its place. Two things that people never asked for. So at the end of the day, if they fail, it's their fault, you know? I want this game to succeed. I want it to do the best it can. But at the end of the day, if this game fails, it's Ivory Tower's fault, not ours. Okay, it's Ivory Tower's. They're the ones who fucked it up in the first place. So if this game fails and this April update doesn't revitalize the game, then we can kiss the Crew as a franchise goodbye. I don't really see a Crew 3 coming out after this, after the disaster that was the Crew 2. What do you guys think about this? What do you guys think the April update's gonna be? What do you think? What do you want of an update for the Crew 2? And what do you think could revitalize the Crew 2? Be sure to leave your suggestions in the comment section down below. But that's gonna be all for now. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys in the next video. Have a good one, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to see some more craptastic content, be sure to subscribe and hit the little bell icon so you don't ever miss an upload. Also, be sure to follow me on Twitch and join my Discord to be able to chat with me and some others. That's all for now, guys. Have a good one.